How is it going, boys and girls? Welcome back to Key West Waterman. How is it going, boys and girls? Welcome back to Key West Waterman. My name is Aaron Young. Sorry if the audio's a little crappy. I forgot my mount today and a little bit of wind. You may not be able to hear me. I'm somewhere off the west coast of Florida. I don't know exactly where I'm at. These guys won't tell me. If you've ever done any kind of spearfishing, you know who that handsome young man is. And this is my friend Austin. But we're out here in the Gulf doing a little goofing off, doing a little bit of spearfishing. I'm taking some time off the month of October to kind of get the boat back in order, so figured I'd hop around Florida and show you guys around. And I honestly haven't ever speared up here, so showing me around. We're pulling up on the first spot. How deep are we, Austin?
26 feet.
26 feet of water. Looks sketchy. Let's rock and roll. But try not to talk too much on these. I know listening to me ramble has got to be getting boring. But this was actually my first time diving on the West Coast. I was pretty impressed. I get a lot of my clients come from the West Coast, and I know it's really nice to have clear water, but man, I have never seen so many fish in my life. Pretty much every single spot that GR took us to was just stacked with mangroves, gags. There was all kinds of stuff all over everything. I don't know if it was just maybe we had a lucky day. Maybe GR's got better spots than everybody. I don't know, but there was no shortage of fish throughout our day. You can just see the amount of mangroves here. It was really, really unbelievable. That was my first drop. I was just kind of getting my bearings, kind of scanning, seeing what I'm working with, see if there was any bigger predators kind of hanging around. Obviously, there was no shortage of targets. I do love a good target-rich environment. I mean, there's not very many areas except for during the spawn in Key West where you'll see this many snapper. And I don't know, maybe these snappers spawn a little later on the West Coast. I'm not sure, but on the bottom, just kind of grunting, trying to see if there's any bigger ones in the school that I could pick out. They were very friendly. They were not scared of me at all. And to be honest, kind of had puppy fever here. There was more than enough shooters, but it's hard to focus on one when there's that many swimming around. You can see me kind of lining up on stuff and changing my mind. I easily got distracted there. Was being a little greedy waiting for the biggest one, but finally got a nice shot on a decent sized mangrove. I love these things. I preach it all the time, but I think it's probably my favorite snapper out there. You can see me come up right under Austin there on that last drop. I think another challenge that I realized you deal with over here when the water's this dirty is you can't really safety each other. I mean, unless you're dropping straight down and staying in the same spot. Pretty much every single time I tried to safety one of them, I would lose them. And same thing with me. If you're moving around at all, you can't see them from the surface. I think the plan was, or at least what I think GR had in mind, was get some fish in the boat, wanted to get some snappers in the boat, make sure we got dinner covered. I had a blast, so I could shoot those mangroves all day. Absolutely love them. It would work. Some nice mangroves down there. Pretty cool diving. There's tons of life on the bottom, lots of rocks and stuff. I think Mr. GR's got grouper on the mind, so we're still searching around. But plenty of fish and lots of fun. So after the first few spots, I quickly realized that the banana gun was a little too big for this area. I could hunt with it, it was just a little inconvenient. And GR actually makes spear guns along with a bunch of other stuff, but he had a few extra, I think this was a 90 that he let me borrow. And I've never shot a gun this style, so I was kind of interested to try it and see how it handled, but it ended up being absolutely perfect for these conditions. This is on a new spot. I first dropped it. You can see a few gags kind of spook, and I was going for the biggest one. And I put a nice shot in him, and I thought he was going to tuck in that hole. Ran through that swim through, and unfortunately pulled out. That was a very, very nice gag grouper. And I was kind of swimming over there to see if maybe he stalled or stopped. That way I could quickly try and reload my gun even with one band while I was down there. But he kept moving, so that was pretty unfortunate. I thought I had a good holding shot there, but he was able to work himself off.
Damn it.
You can hear GR just shot something. After the first couple drops, all the groupers, just like in Key West, they do, the groupers started to cave up, so we pulled our lights out and started searching. You can look in here, you see a couple spooked. There was a bunch right at that like 25, 26 inch mark. There's one decent one in here. I wasn't completely convinced on him. I was just looking for something just a hair bigger, but the amount of grouper I saw on this spot was unbelievable. I mean, if you were just shooting just legal ones, I could have shot 20 or 30 of them. I was just being a little greedy.
Are they just sitting in the same hole? I guess
so. So once they all rocked up, like I said, pretty much would just swim around with a light, sticking your head in anything that remotely looked like it would hold a fish. There's one way back in here. You can kind of, if you're watching a big screen, you can see that his shadow, and it was a little bit of a risky shot because I didn't realize how far back he actually was. So I kind of have to swim in here because he gets stuck, and a little tight to turn my belt there so I can get it around that edge and get my hand on the shaft. It's hard to remove the fish with just by pulling on the line. You're likely to bend something or break something. And that's kind of a tricky, sketchy situation if you're not familiar with doing that. Just typically if I can get in, I can get back out, but you just got to be careful. There was a rope there that I could have snagged on. Crawling in those caves can be kind of nerving. First West Coast gag for me.
I just got tired of watching them swim by.
We were actually on this spot for quite some time. There was just so many fish. I mean, it was a pretty big area too, so it wasn't like we're hammering just one spot. There was a bunch of these debris piles kind of in the same vicinity. And after getting that first gag out of the way, I wanted to try and find something a little bigger. So I saw quite a few fish. I was just being, you know, I shoot a decent amount of fish, so I got no need to kill everything I see. I was just being a little pickier to see if I could get a fish worth taking a picture of, if you know. That fish is legal right there, that gag. Definitely probably 25 inches. And I actually had given Austin my light at this point, so I'm really tough to hunt those holes if you can't see. And I stick my head under here. You'll never believe this. Two very nice gags swim right by together, and one parks right in front of me, and I can see a big flap hanging off the front of his head. And would you believe it, it was the very first fish I shot on this spot, and he just happened to come and park right in front of me. It was unbelievable, the odds of this happening. I don't think I've ever had this happen. If you go back and watch that first video when he tore out, you can see how much he's missing on the top of his head. And happy to get this fish out of the water. I hate leaving injured fish if I can help it. This actually ended up being the biggest gag of the day.
You're not gonna believe what I just shot. The first one I tore out earlier. This is the fish from like an hour ago.
Where was he at?
He just swam by in a rock. That's the one I shot earlier. Remember I said I took his head off? I found him in a hole. That's awesome. That is unbelievable. So when we first hopped in, this is the first fish I saw. And I hit him, put a decent shot in him, but he went through a swim through and kind of wrapped around and was able to tear himself out. And not a huge fan of leaving injured fish around. Luckily, we've been here probably, I think, an hour and a half, and literally one of my last drops was looking in just a bunch of cracks, and I just happened to see him swim through, and I saw that big flap of meat there, so was able to pull him out and get him in the box. A lot of fun diving here. I think we're almost done, honestly. We've got quite a bit of fish, so maybe hop back in, check out a few more spots, and cook some of this gag up for dinner. We don't get a lot of these in Key West, so these would be good to check out. Got a happy looking box. We'll see you there. Not too shabby. The man, the legend.
Fucking guy. See, you got your whistle, I got my scream.
Solid day. We're gonna get these cleaned up, and my good friend Austin here is pretty talented in the kitchen.
Oh yeah.
Listen, if I was a single woman and you wanted me to know one thing about you, what would it be?
Can cook.
He can cook. Hey, that's a good argument. So we're gonna get these flayed up. And we're gonna see you in Austin in the kitchen. We're in Austin's kitchen. Doing this a little differently tonight. Ooh. We've got some whole mangroves instead. We've got plenty of gags, lots of mangroves, but Austin's kind of crafty, so he's gonna try something new that he's never done. So this is either gonna be awesome or it's really gonna suck, and we're gonna get pizza.
I like wine, pizza, wine.
So these are pretty much scaled, gutted. You take the gills out?
Yep.
Gills are out, scaled, gutted. Going over some open charcoal.
Yeah.
You better save some of that for me to eat.
They'll be planning going, man.
So mangrove snappers, started olive oil and sea salt.
Yeah, olive oil, sea salt to start. Then do a little chimichurri on top. So that's garlic, chili peppers, scallion, oregano, parsley, and cilantro.
And he kept it real chunky, I don't know if you can tell.
Yeah, so
most of the chimichurris I've had have been kind of blended or muddled of sorts and kind of broke down. I tasted this just on its own, and it was absolutely incredible. Oh God, olive oil's kicking up.
nice little char going on.
Here we go. This is cool. Either way, it looks cool. The lighting out here is terrible. Sometimes it's life. Look at that. So again, whole mangrove, scaled, gutted, and gilled. Gotta pull the gills out. I don't know why, that's just what they tell you. On the grill, olive oil, sea salt, and garlic, cilantro, parsley.
Oregano,
parsley, olive oil, and what was the last one? What was the pepper?
Chili pepper and shallot.
All right, I'm gonna try this. Sorry, I can't wait. I still feel weird letting you guys watch me eat, but oh yeah, that's good. The chimichurri on fish you wouldn't think would be right, but
Wow. That is really good.
There you go.
Thank you, good sir.
Just gotta chow, huh?
Try it out, guys. Chimichurri on fish, who knew? Big thanks to Austin for having me out. Let me come crash at his pad. GR is an amazing individual. If you don't know who he is, check his stuff out. He makes a lot of spearfishing products, so I'll put his info in the description. And I will see you guys in the next one. I'm gonna have a cold beer and eat some good food. I'll see you guys later.